Hi guys. Maybe I'll pause. The recording. I do need to figure out how to make it so that it doesn't just automatically start recording. Because who wants to see the initial, like, I don't know. I feel like those recordings are always a little awkward. Thanks for hopping on really quick, guys. I thought this would be kind of fun. I mean, we can share stuff over Voxer, but I think it's more fun just to kind of gather really quick and then disperse. So I just have like a few quick things, kind of just want to like talk through a game plan for October. There are tons of people in District Qual, which is super exciting. We have lots of exciting things happening this month with the free signups. And we are now entering what is historically like the largest quarter of the year. And so just lots of exciting things. So kind of want to map out a little bit of a game plan for this month, especially since we are in time of reduced qualifications and all of this stuff, and we're marching at Nation and all of these exciting things. And so it can feel a little like, wow, there's a lot going on. So what what are we doing? So quick reminder that we are doing, oh, two Terrans, how fun. That we're doing the nightly work sessions. And sometimes I forget or I hop on late, and so just bug me if I do. But 8 o'clock, I'm just hopping on Zoom. This Zoom, same place, same time. So feel free to hop on with me, and we can work together. A couple things, and this is kind of like a little bit of stepping out in faith. Because we've declared a big goal and there's so much going on and there's so many people working their business and so many people with really big goals. And I have been doing a lot of praying on setting a big sponsorship goal as a team, because we know that sponsorship is the lifeblood of our business, right? And that's, if you want to see your business grow, it comes from sponsorship numbers. And a lot of times those numbers happen first before the QV numbers. And actually we have a tendency to look at the QV numbers to kind of measure how we're doing, and really what matters the most is the sponsorship numbers. And so I want to like challenge all of us to kind of make a decision on what do we want our personal sponsorship goal to be this month, whether it's 5, whether it's 10, whether you want to go Ashley Stone and go for 30. I've never done 30. I think the most I've done in a month was 22. And that was a lot, but whatever you guys want to make that sponsorship goal, I want to challenge us all to make a personal commitment to that. And then what does that mean? What does my month need to look like in order for that to happen? And we've talked about goal slicing in the past. If you're newer, you might not have heard of goal slicing, but it was basically like you set your goal for the month, your QV goal, and then you kind of chunk it out by like day by day, which is great when you have a large team and you're going for a large goal. But something I'm going to be doing is actually doing that just for my personal goals of my personal QV, my personal sponsoring. And so if you want to do that with me, I can kind of give you a template for what I'm going to be doing. And it's going to just be like the 1st through the 31st of October, and just kind of setting goals for myself to help myself stay on track. So I am declaring like what I really believe as a team we're totally capable of doing. The number that keeps coming to my mind to go for is 50, which is a big number. But man, you guys, imagine if we have 50 new people, PCs and ICs, in this team, the kind of momentum that creates is super exciting. And so I know 50 is totally possible, and it makes me anxious to throw a big goal out there, right, like that, like putting out a goal, it feels vulnerable, but there's not a failure that we need to worry about. It's just let's without a big goal, without pushing ourselves, right, we can set a goal for 10 and easily get it, but that's not what we're here to do, right? So the goal is 50. So what I'd love for each of you just kind of like pray and reflect on and decide how much of that is yours? What are you owning of that? How many people do you want to be able to invite into this? And with that, something that I've been talking a lot about with people is the importance of those three-way calls. I think we've tried a lot of different ways of sharing Arbonne with people, whether it's through sharing a video or like a document or something like that. And what we've really come to find at the end of the day, what really works the best and allows us to connect with people the best is having like a quick Zoom three-way call. And if you're in the same place as someone, sit down and have a cup of coffee with them. And so I would love to challenge us all to kind of get back into the groove of that. And so I created a Calendly link. I don't know if you've heard of Calendly, but it basically just allows you guys to book like 30-minute slots. And it's really intended for like 30-minute meetings, whether that's with you and a business partner that's just getting running, whether that's with you and someone who wants to learn more about Arbonne, doing an overview, something like that. And I'll be super honest, that is not something we need right now. I am not in this season of like, I'm so overwhelmed with everybody asking me to do three-way calls that I need a link. Like, we're not, but I believe that that's where we're going. And so like, it's the, if you build it, they will come. And so I created this link believing that we're going to need it because we're going to be talking with a lot of people and inviting a lot of people into this community. Taryn's on, and her and I have been kind of talking a lot about the message we keep feeling like we're hearing from people is, I don't have friends, I don't know anybody, I don't have a community. And I think, wow, like, I have totally taken this for granted for the past 3 years, that I have a community. I have people that I'm doing life alongside, and not everyone has that. And what a sweet thing that we get to offer people. And maybe they want to grow a business and maybe they don't. That's totally fine. We get to invite them into this, and that's pretty sweet. So I will be sharing that Calendly link with you all. And if you have someone that you want to do an overview with, it's literally just like you, me, and that person. And we sit down, I get to know them a little bit, if you already know them, and then share a little bit about Arbonne and see if it could be something that would be a blessing in their life. And if it is, awesome. If it's not, that's totally fine. But we've really found that that's the best way for me. That's how my story worked with Arbonne. Honestly, I was really uncomfortable hopping on Zoom. I didn't want to. I kind of did it out of obligation. I am not gonna lie, I totally did. But then I ended up talking with Missy and with Megan, and had these kind of bizarre, they were total God moments of these very small world connections that I had with Missy. And then seeing someone who was really doing this and living this out as a career and everything, it just kind of opened my eyes to what was even possible, because I'd never had seen that before. And so that's really what kind of sealed the deal for me with Arbonne. And so it's a great way to introduce people, whether it's your PCs, introducing them to the business, or new people. So I'll share the Calendly link in our Voxer group so that you guys can book overviews there. I've got my schedule loaded up in there. So if it's open, book it. I'll be on. It's exciting. And then just a little sneak preview of what's to come. We've done many of these in the past. We kind of try to do them every quarter. But next weekend, I am going to throw out a 100-person challenge. And I will do some sort of fun gift, whether it's like a cute shirt or a hat, or if there's something that you guys are like, I like when you give away the lip duos or whatever, let me know. But I'll do something like that. Really just in an attempt to like, okay, like, let's fill our calendars. If we're going for big sponsorship goals, let's fill our calendars with overviews, with events, with the holiday line. It's so much fun to do little pop-up shops, whether they're virtual or in person. Like, this is my favorite time of year to do events. And I found that people are the most like totally open to doing holiday events because they're just really fun. And we have the derm results and like the fun promo going on there. I totally want to earn my a free set because I am obsessed with that stuff. It's amazing. So we just have a lot that we want to do. And so the best thing I can do is, all right, let's get together and let's do it. And 100 people sounds like a lot, but when you chunk it out into like 10 little bites throughout the weekend, you can really weave it in to whatever you're doing. But I thought I'd let you guys know ahead of time so you can kind of be working on that list. I think, trying to make half of them business asks and then doing some like 30-day asks, skincare drop off events. There's so many things. I really like to kind of categorize them and do them in those categories. So I'm kind of in different modes. So that is kind of the game plan for this month. If you want to send me your like goal of sponsoring or QV or whatever, feel free to. You don't have to, but if you want to, just as like an accountability thing, you totally can, or share it with your upline. But that's what I wanted to share. Do people have questions or comments or anything related or otherwise? Always so awkward silence.
This is Debbie. One thing that Missy always said to me too when I would just sponsor in PCs was like, if you can have a 3-way conversation, do it, because you're just allowing somebody else to validate the business. So for me, I don't know why I feel blessed by this, but I love to have the 3-way conversations, and I feel really fortunate because it comes, I don't know how, but I feel really, it comes natural to me to get somebody on a 3-way call. And it's super amazing to have that 3-way conversation, because then it's not just coming from me. Somebody else can validate, like, yes, this is the fruit of the business, and this is how I'm living it out, and this is what it looks like. And yes, these are the products I've tried. And also for like, maybe for us that are new, or those of us that are uncomfortable having that conversation, the more times we see it, the more times we get to be like, yes, that's somebody else said it like this, or that's, yeah, I really loved how they said it. That's kind of my niche. I want to say it like that. And so I've learned a ton by just watching other people present the business over and over and over again, and kind of finding my niche and how I want to say it. And then as I've found myself in that situation where I'm like, oh crap, I'm the person now that has to say it. It's like, oh yeah. So it's been really fun to just watch a lot of different people. So don't be afraid to ask Missy, or ask Tara, or ask Mel, or ask Nicole, just as side sisters. Like, we all can ask each other, and it's really cool to just watch different people do it differently, because everybody does it differently, and people are very happy to just walk alongside you and do this together. So it's really fun to bless each other in that way, but to be able to have those 3-way conversations, because not only does it just affirm the business side of it, but then all of a sudden, the reason it affirms the business side is because instead of us selling the business, that uncomfortable piece of it, I don't know that person, right? I don't know that person from Adam. So it allows me to just share the business and why the business is so important, with no strings attached, right? So then it's really cool for somebody to get to know somebody else and to show how special the community is, but then also with no strings attached, to be able to share the beauty of the business and with no strings attached. And so it's just really precious to be able to do that. So yeah, if I could share anything, if there's something that I've learned in the last, I would say even just year, it's that. So if there's anything as far as verbiage or how do I do that or what, what do I say? I'm happy to help, but also ask your upline because that is such a gift.
Yeah, you're great at that, Debbie. You really, really are, and it's really fun. And that was a great point too, Debbie. Like, if there's someone that you're like, you know what, Mel, I think this person would connect better with Debbie or Nicole or, Megan Regan or Missy, I will absolutely not be offended in any way, shape, or form. I totally take that into consideration when I'm talking with people and going, I think you would really connect well with this person. So I'm going to ask them if they'd be willing to hop on a call. I know even like Amy Gill, she's a pharmacist. She's hopped on with people and she is like not at all connected. She's a sideline, but she's not like, I do not help her business, and she's hopped on calls before. So know that that's just how we work. So if there's anybody that you think would connect with someone other than me, please, feel free to ask. So
yeah, but as we get to know each other, it's like I'm a mental health therapist. So as you think about like, oh yeah, she might connect with this person because of her other job, or yeah, Amy's a pharmacist, or just kind of getting to know each other. That's the beauty of the community. Yeah, but Amy has no tie to our direct team. So yeah. Thanks for highlighting that, Mel.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah. I know the gal in like the Get Over Your Damn Self book, which is super good. She talks about the 3 big calls being like the bread and butter. Like that is where it is at. And she has an enormous organization. And I am like, yeah, it is just the best way to do it. And I wish I could do more like in person. I did have an overview in person on like last Thursday. It was so fun to actually sit down with someone face to face and talk to them about the business. It was so fun. I think she'll be joining our team. She's great.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So as I was listening to you, Debbie, I was thinking, I'm just so new and I don't know a lot of you very well. It would be really amazing just to, I don't know how we would even go about doing this, but say like even what you do outside of Arbonne, or like because even I didn't know Amy was a pharmacist, so I wouldn't know. I have a pharmacist friend, so like I didn't even know that I could, or that she would connect with her. Yeah, I don't know if there's like a way we can get out there. What makes you, I mean, I don't have a job outside of Arbonne, but I know a lot of us have like really unique skill sets that I just don't know about. And I feel like that would be a fun thing to just put out there. I don't know.
I love that, especially since there are like new faces and yeah, Natalie, if you think of any like brilliant ideas of how to like,
I mean, even just like a Facebook post of like, who is willing to hop on a 3-way call, number one.
Yeah.
And, because like what she was saying, the no strings attached thing, for whatever reason, I feel way more intimidating sharing the business with a close friend of mine than I do with a random stranger. Like
100%, yeah.
And if any way, like I feel like I could help somebody else, then that would be awesome. I don't know, it just feels like, oh yeah, I could tell 5 people that have no personal connection to me. But yeah, so I feel like if there were people that were like, hey, like I have this specific skill set, if you have any, I don't know, like you have any doctor friends, or you have any student friends, or people that have those types of backgrounds, would shoot even on a Facebook post, be like, hey, I'm willing, this is what I do outside of Arbonne, if you feel like you have a friend that could connect with me, I'd love to connect with them, kind of thing.
That's great. I'm if you're okay with it, Natalie, I might bring that up to Missy, and just because I mean everyone could benefit from that. Like, hey, can we thing of like, just because we have new people and who's willing to hop on a call and what's their background. I know Missy one time, and I don't even know where the heck it is, but she put together like all the VP's stories
Mm-hmm.
Like Lori Huffman came from super, super corporate. So did Fallon. Like Lori was super high up corporate. And then was going to have to move to Mexico and was like, oh, I don't want to move to Mexico. And so she promoted region instead. And like, you know, like Megan Regan, it's super passionate about, she was like total, like awesome in education. And then after COVID decided to become a homeschool mom and is like loving that. So it'd be cool to kind of have everyone's stories just so we can connect people to them. I also think that community night freaking rocked. And we're going to be doing another one October, I think it's the 26th. And that just made me go, I want to get all my people on here because it was just fun because it was just like, that's like what it is, like hang out with us, you know, like it's fun and funny and I don't know, it was great.
Can I add a plug? Okay, 2 things. This is Debbie. Sorry. Okay, yeah, Natalie, I totally echo that. I don't know what that would look like, but even just for our team too, like to bounce, you know, I don't feel like I know we're growing so quickly. So that would be fun too. Yeah, whether it's Facebook or I'm thinking like a Google Docs or like, I don't know, you know. Oh, go ahead, Mel.
Well, Debbie, you had that idea of like creating like an email that's like a Google email.
Yeah.
I don't know, but and using like a Google Docs, like all of us having access to that email and having access to all this Google Doc information. I mean, we have a lot of information in the source, but creating things like that, and whether it's like different, I don't know, but we could all kind of add to it because I don't know, we can all, this would be a place for like collaborating. And then we could use that as a team Zoom so that we could have like a separate team Zoom so that I could run something and we could still run like a, you know, like Power Hour or something over here and anyone can log into it. So
we're talking about that way, have a separate Zoom account, you guys, because if I wanted to run like a, you know, 8 to 9 o'clock Power Hour, that means Mel can't log in. So I had proposed just creating like a separate team, like Gmail account. So then everybody can have that access to that. Create then like Google Docs on that, and everybody, you know, we could send out the link to that and we could all be working off Google Docs to that. And then we could use that as kind of our community Zoom email per se is what we're talking about there. Yeah. One of the things that I found really successful about the community night was that it didn't say direct message me for the information about the Zoom link. The Zoom link information was on the advertisement. Mm-hmm. So I had people that were just friends log in. You know, they didn't ask me for details, they just showed up. And I actually had 2 people from just my Facebook do that versus like sending me a message, getting those details and then logging in. So if I could suggest anything, I would suggest, if I could ask or put a plug-in for that, that was one thing that I noticed that was a success on my side of things. I don't know if you saw that.
I'll text Missy that right away because, yeah, she creates those invites. So that is super great feedback.
Actually, the girl who won the bag of protein, she was somebody that I know, and she just showed up. I had no idea she was coming.
Oh, that's so cool. I legitimately drew her name out of the hat too. That's great. Sometimes, you know, you're like, I think, you know, yeah, this person should win. I legitimately drew her name out. So,
yeah, just secrets are coming out.
You just want like a compulsion to get it. You know, like, oh, okay, Missy won. Like,
yeah, just number was on there. So if I could put a plug, it's that.
I will tell her right away. That's super helpful. Thank you for that feedback. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys, in the confession thing, I have totally wrote the same person's name on like 10 different cards because I was just like, I really want this person to win, but I can't make it seem like I only have one name in here.
That's amazing, Nicole. Stop here for all the hacks. Oh gosh.
Yep.
So funny.
No, but I love all that, Debbie. I totally agree with like having that Zoom info just on there. There's just something about that just feels more like no strings attached in that. It's like, okay, I'll just log on rather than like reaching out and asking for the Zoom info. I agree with that.
I love it. Yeah, like why put up any additional barriers when you can just make it as accessible as possible? Yeah. Anything else? This is great. Okay.
Okay, Mel, when are you planning to do the 100-person list?
Next weekend.
Okay.
My mother-in-law is going to be here. I'm timing it perfectly. No, just kidding. Just joking. No, I just thought, okay, I initially thought this weekend, and then I thought, oh man, coming right off of close, that's kind of just kind of feels like a real fast turnaround. So thought we should just gather and chat, and then we can kind of prep for next weekend. But we've found in the past that 100% challenge, what we've found is it just kind of accelerates. Like obviously consistency is the most important thing, and it's not to like replace the daily do, but it just kind of, it helps you step on the gas a little bit and kind of fit a month's worth of work into 48 hours. And so it accelerates things, and we're working in a shorter time span here between AIT and the reduced qualifications. And so I think doing a couple little, acceleration times is important. So I'll be doing it right alongside with you guys. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, I do that too. I get a little like, oh boy, it's a lot. But it's good. It's always worth it. So all right. Well, thanks
Mel.
What was that, Nicole?
I just said, thanks, Mel.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for hopping on, Nicole. I hope Elijah has a great birthday tomorrow.
Thanks.
Is he gonna be 5? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Oh man. Okay, well, I love you guys and have a great night. And thanks so much for hopping on. Bye, guys.